Right now, money to fight childhood cancer could be under fire if federal budget cuts take effect. Find out how one nonprofit organization is trying to lend a helping hand. Also, we'll see what's being done to give one Metro Atlanta neighborhood a sense of purpose, a new sense of purpose. And we're going to preview a new documentary about a special partnership which made Atlanta an Olympic city. This is The Take. Let's go. Hello and welcome to The Take. I'm Chesley McNeil, and this is where we go above and beyond the headlines. We look at the why and how stories are impacting you and your community. We invite the experts in to give their take on the day's top stories, and we also try to have a little bit of fun as well. Catholic cardinals performed the ritual ceremony of transferring the body of Pope Francis to St. Peter's Basilica. That's where the body is now lying in state for people to pay their respects to the Argentine pontiff. The 3 days of public viewing are largely for ordinary Catholics to pay their respects to the 88-year-old Pope who died on Monday. The Basilica will be kept open until midnight today and tomorrow and allow the faithful to mourn. The public mourning period will end on Friday evening. We'll have more on the tributes to Pope Francis coming up a little bit later on in the show. As the Trump administration moves to slash federal spending, one area coming under fire is childhood cancer research. The most recent figures from the National Institute of Health shows it allocated $272 million in fighting against childhood cancer. That's 4% of the NIH's overall budget for cancer research. Then President Trump signed several executive orders which look to cut funding to the agency by 15%, but a judge at least has temporarily halted that move. Here now to join us and talk more about it is Dean Crow, the founder and CEO of Rally Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research. Welcome to the show, Dean.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Talk to me how dire this is for families trying to find care for their children, and if these cuts go through, what that will do.
Well, what it'll do is it'll definitely slow down the research and the progress that we're making and getting better treatment and advancing what these families would have as options. So we definitely don't want to see these cuts happen.
Certainly. Tell us, what does the funds go toward?
So I actually, at the Rally Foundation, we really concentrate on getting funding from the Department of Defense Medical Research Program, and those go specifically to childhood cancers, to the specific cancers. So any cancers that affect children or adolescents or young adults are the cancers that we seek funding for. So that could be neuroblastoma, pediatric brain tumors, that could be different kinds of blood cancers, that can be solid tumors like osteosarcoma, Ewing sarcoma, also neuroblastoma, all those type of cancers is what we really seek to get funding for.
Mm-hmm. So if the cuts go through, does this really put pressure on groups like yours to really step up and help out?
Well, we already have pressure. So really what we do is we provide philanthropic seed investors for the next great discovery. So we go in and we provide seed funding so these researchers can start their idea and then apply for the federal funding. So that's really important what we do. And our role, of course, will become even more important if the funding is cut. Hopefully it won't be. But if it is cut, then our role definitely will be more important. But there is no way that philanthropy can carry the shoulders of all the research for childhood cancer. We definitely have to have the federal funding.
Got it. So organizations like yours are very important. Can you walk me through the steps of families seeking to get help from your organization?
So if you're wanting to get help, like from the family support, we help families pay bills. We provide meals at the hospitals. We also will help families transport to clinical trials, which is super important to get them there and help to pay for, lodging and travel and that type thing. But our main focus, honestly, is really trying to advance the research so that families, when they hear that their child has cancer, will have options and that there will be better treatment, better drugs, fewer long-term side effects. And so that is a main concentration of ours.
Gotcha. So now, and again, we talk about these cuts. Hopefully the cuts won't kick in, but how can people like myself help out if that happens?
Oh my gosh, that is a great question. So on our website, we have a big call to advocacy, call to action. So you could go to the website and on there, and I'll be glad to provide it for y'all after this. And there are letters that you can send. We make it super easy. There's different legislation that we're trying to pass, and also just your elected officials hearing from you, the Georgia, your Georgia congressmen, your senators hearing from you that childhood cancer research is important and you want to see it funded is really critical, because really, I just want everybody to know your voice matters and your elected officials listen to you because they want to keep their jobs and they need to know what's important. If they don't hear from you, then they won't know what is important. And then when these votes come up, they won't know how to vote. So your voice matters. You need to tell them what's important. And funding childhood cancer research is super important. Childhood cancer is the #1 disease killer of kids in America. And so therefore, we really need to make that not true anymore. And the only way that's going to happen is through research.
So we really shouldn't be waiting for the cuts to happen. We really should be getting active now.
Correct. And we have a great letter on our website. Again, I will get you that link, and people can fill that out and let their members hear from them that how important this funding is. There's also a couple of key pieces of legislation that are up right now that are going to be before getting voted on in the House and the Senate, and we want those to pass and then be passed to the president for him to sign them into law. So there's a lot of things going on, and it's an exciting time. It's a little, wonky because of all the cuts, but then, I think we just have to rise above it and then be willing to do what we can and to use our voices, which is so important.
All right. So we're going to encourage people to get involved even now. We'll not wait for these cuts to take place. And as you've been saying all morning long, hopefully the cuts won't take place and you guys won't be affected by that or making you have to step your game up even more. And again, we'll be here to help you out as much as possible. Thanks for joining us this morning. Really appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah. Thank you. Absolutely. Take care.
All right. All right, folks, let's talk about our 7-day outlook because, it's going to be a bit wet on the outside. We do have the threat for some showers, scattered showers, possibly some thunderstorms could be around. We started out with those not being severe, but then the Storm Prediction Center was looking at the possibility for those thunderstorms yesterday and added us to the level 1 threat. Now, we do have a level 1 threat for the central and several southern portions of the state. Could we be added again? Certainly we could. But I think for the most part, we'll just be dealing with the rain. Now, it could be heavy at times where we have a few of those thunderstorms. Near 80 for your afternoon high temperature. Of course, the clouds will have something to say about that as well. We get some extra breaks, maybe even exceed that 80-degree mark. We'll do it all over again for tomorrow. We're stuck in this pattern, folks, unfortunately. 82 degrees for the high temperature on Friday, 83 on Saturday. As Friday and Saturday, we'll see that chance for the rain drop just by about 10%, 30% chance for the scattered showers and thunderstorms. And you'll notice that as we head into next week, we get a little bit drier. Sunday will be the drier of the 2 weekend days, so if you have to adjust your plans, you do so accordingly. 81 will be the high temperature on Sunday. Monday, a small threat for rain comes back to us, but by and large, we'll be a little bit drier as we head into next week. In fact, we'll see those temperatures go up as well. 85 degrees will be your high temperature for Tuesday of next week with partly sunny skies. Let's hope that continues on as we look forward to a nice little dry week. Hey, folks, don't go anywhere. We got much more for you. This is The Take on 11Alive Plus. We're back right after this. Right now, the public is paying its final respects to the man who left what will be a lasting legacy for the Catholic Church. We're talking about Pope Francis. Joining us now is NBC's Jay Gray. He's live at the Vatican. Good morning to you, Jay. You've done several stories at the Vatican now, and we haven't seen a sitting pope in 20 years pass away. Give us your take on the mood that's out there right now.
Yeah, Chesley, I think that what you're seeing here is a mixture. Obviously, people are sad at the passing of the Pope. Many you talk to say they thought he had turned the corner. You know, he'd been in the hospital for 5 weeks, at times near death, and many thought he had turned the corner, that he had bounced back, especially when he showed up on the balcony for Easter Sunday and rode throughout St. Peter's Square in the Pope Mobile. Many thought that he was on the road to at least a recovery, and it was just the next day that he passed. So that obviously left people shocked, and many of them saddened by his passing. But also, there are so many who just wanted to honor his work. You know, he was someone who really was a champion of the poor, a humble man, not with some of the trappings that we've seen other popes embrace here. We know that he was considered caring, and he was also one of the most progressive popes in modern history within the Catholic Church. So, yeah, Chesley, a lot of people obviously sad, but also wanting to say thank you and honor the work that he did during his 12 years.
Jay, just as you mentioned, he was known or given a nickname as the People's Pope. How large do you think the crowds will be that come by?
Yeah. Well, look, they've been building every day that we've been here. I think by the time we get to the funeral on Saturday, hundreds of thousands will have made the pilgrimage here to the Vatican to watch that funeral, to again pay their last respects. And it's a situation where the streets are crowded, St. Peter's Square is crowded, and that crowd only growing. So I think we're going to see a huge turnout. This is the first pope from the Americas, from South America, and so I think that will have some influence in who arrives as well. A lot of people making that journey.
Yeah, we've been seeing the cardinals arriving, getting ready for the funeral, of course, but right after that, they're getting ready for the conclave. Any sense on who may be next?
Yeah, no question, Chesley, that they are discussing that. Remember that these are cardinals, many who don't know one another, and so they're just getting to know each other as they show up here at the Vatican and begin that discussion. No, I don't think you can really say who may be the front runner in all of this. There's always a push, obviously, here for an Italian cardinal to ascend to the chair of St. Peter. I think there's a Filipino cardinal who is also considered one of the front runners. But remember, Francis was 15th. He wasn't really someone they considered in line for the papacy, yet he was the one who ultimately was selected. And it only took in that conclave, a little over 24 hours, just the day after that conclave began in 2013, that he was elected.
Wow. Okay. Jay Gray, live at the Vatican. We'll be checking back in with you over the next couple of days. Thanks for joining us. All right, right here on 11Alive Plus, we're streaming a special remembering Pope Francis, showing what his legacy means to millions around the world. All right, one of Atlanta's most overlooked communities is now on the rise. Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Neighborhood on the south side, is seeing a surge in new residents. Jonathan Martin is here to explain why this is taking place as a part of his special Affording Atlanta series. Good morning, Jonathan.
Hey, good morning to you, Chesley. Always good to be with you.
Oh, man, glad to have you on the show, man. Why is this such an interest? Why is this Pittsburgh neighborhood such an interest?
Well, there are a couple of reasons. First of all, affordability. The average home value in this neighborhood is just $260,000. And you consider that's among the lowest here in the city of Atlanta. Not only that, but proximity. We're talking about a community just about 2 miles south of downtown Atlanta. And of course, the bigger reason you could say is the changing perception. If you asked anyone here in Atlanta years ago about the Pittsburgh neighborhood, they would have said that's the neighborhood that has drugs and prostitution, a lot of crime. While they still have some issues, neighbors tell you that that has really changed and it's become a lot more of an attractive community, a lot more people moving there.
How were they able to bounce back, Jonathan?
Well, they had the foreclosure crisis about 15 years ago. That area was in particular hit really, really hard. And that's why a lot of nonprofit developers like the Atlanta Land Trust, the Annie Casey Foundation, they came in, they bought up dozens and dozens of these homes, they rebuilt and made them affordable housing units. And that's one of the ways they were able to inject, some of this rebuilding and these affordable homes back into the community.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Yards has been a big part of the revitalization of the neighborhood. Tell us more about that development.
Yeah, if you've been along the Beltline right in the South Side area along the South Side Trail, you may have noticed Pittsburgh Yards. It's a building. They have at least 100 spaces, rentable spaces for people to rent out. You have different businesses from photography studios, coffee shops, and the goal is to have affordable commercial space for people in these communities like Summerhill, Pittsburgh, and Mechanicsville, so they can start their businesses, they can grow their businesses, and then stay in that community and really develop and push entrepreneurship.
Did you get a chance to talk to any of the neighbors there? Do they have any concerns about these changes?
Yeah, I spoke to some legacy residents, Chesley, along with the neighborhood president. One of the things that a lot of neighbors there are concerned about is, as you might expect, gentrification. Of course, they want revitalization, right? They want these new homes. They even see a lot of these $500,000 homes popping up. So they like the progress, but they're also saying, hey, we've been here all our lives. We don't want to be pushed out, or we don't want to be priced out. So that's one of the big concerns right now.
Is that a possibility? Could some of them be pushed out, you think?
Well, right now they're saying they appreciate the feedback and the consideration they're getting from some of these nonprofit developers, keeping a lot of the housing affordable. But when you see $500,000 homes now popping up in this community for the first time, a lot of them get worried and get concerned.
That's understandable, right? So what's next for Pittsburgh? What's any new projects that they have out there?
Well, there is more growth right now. We know that the Beltline Incorporated, the people over the Beltline project, they have a big apartment complex they're going to build. They at least hope to build in the next couple of years with about 500 new units right near Pittsburgh Yard. So likely we're going to see more growth. But what neighbors say they really want to see is more commercial space, at least I should say retail space, more restaurants, things that they can keep in the community, grocery stores, to really build up the community, not just new homes.
And these will be affordable, right? That's what you're saying?
That's what we're told. Yeah. That's what we're told. And that's what neighbors have been promised.
Okay, sounds good. Jonathan Martin, thank you for joining us always.
Yeah.
You look good in your vest, man.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm trying to go that route.
Brought it out for you this morning.
I'm trying to go that route. I'm trying to go that route. Thanks a lot. You can watch Jonathan's full report tonight during 11 Live News at 11 and right here on 11 Live Plus. Hey, don't go anywhere. This is The Take. We got much more for you coming up right after the break.
The International Olympic Committee has awarded the 1996 Olympic Games to the city of Atlanta.
Who doesn't remember that? Atlanta. We love the way he says that. That was back in 1990 when the International Olympic Committee made our city an Olympic host. That was the moment right there, in part, and the accumulation of a special partnership, which now focuses on a documentary debuting at this weekend's Atlanta Film Festival. The Games in Black and White focuses on Billy Payne and Andrew Young and how their bid for the Games helped Atlanta move forward. Here joining me now is the co-executive producer and co-director and writer, George Herther. Welcome to the show, George.
Thanks.
Good to see
Jesse.
you.
Good to be here with you, man.
What made you do this as a topic for a documentary?
Well, I was the lead writer on the campaign to bring the games here back in 1989 and 90. And Bob Judson was a filmmaker working on the Olympics then. And a couple of years ago, we got together and said, you know what, let's do a documentary that recaptures that great moment and get it ready in time for the 30th anniversary of the Games, which is next year. So we finished a little early.
Oh, yeah, finished a little early. And you're focusing really on the relationship between Billy Payne and Andrew Young. Talk to me about that.
That's the essence of what made our bid successful. The civil rights heritage of Atlanta, people knew that we were the capital of civil rights. And Andy and Billy were emblematic because a white man and a black man teaming up and going out, they symbolized everything that people knew about Atlanta's history as a beacon of race relations in the United States and racial harmony.
They made it work?
They made it work. They were brilliant. They were brilliant.
What made Atlanta stand out, do you think, to get the Games? Was it that partnership? Did they present such a grand venue that they couldn't resist, or what?
In the end, the voters always vote for the people they like best. Billy Payne orchestrated a strategy in which he and Andy and other members of the Atlanta Nine traveled around the world and made friends with IOC members. On a technical basis, our city had the Georgia World Congress Center. We had a massive amount of hotel rooms. We had the great airport. We had Delta Airlines flying people in and out. Yeah. We had the infrastructure in place. So we were technically, we had great advantages, but it was the personalities of Andy and Billy that carried the day.
Wow. How would you stack up Atlanta's venue against others?
I think the technical assessment that came out from the Evaluation Commission in the summer of 1990, right before the vote in September, came out in Barcelona in the summer. It was leaked, and we were ranked #1.
Really?
So it was clear against the other 5 cities that we were absolutely technically superior.
Was it, do you think, wasn't it like an anniversary for it to go back to Athens, maybe?
Athens was the prohibitive favorite.
Yeah, that's where they started, right?
Baron Pierre de Coubertin founded the modern Olympic Games, Paris, France, 1894. The first games were in Athens, Greece in 1896. The idea was, let's use sport as a global platform to unite the world in friendship and peace.
Wow.
Okay? Went to Athens, so when the centennial came around in 1996, everybody said, oh, it's going to Athens.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Hands down favorite.
Yeah.
And then Atlanta emerged as a dark horse, and boom,
came
grabbed
in there
the prize.
and snatched it right on out.
And that was a great moment. You just played that. You just played that tape, and that was a great. I was in the room in Tokyo when that announcement was made.
Wow.
It was one of the most thrilling moments of my life.
It's something around here that we'll never forget. I mean, the way he said that. Atlanta.
Yeah,
what else did you learn about making this documentary that you didn't know probably in the past?
Well, we emphasized a couple things that the world never heard. You know, the bombing in Centennial Olympic Park obscured a lot of the positive stories of the games that were happening in the background. Billy and Andy, the first act of the board of directors after we won, in July of 1991, the board of directors took Andy and Billy and Maynard Jackson's program of equal economic opportunity and put it in place. So we had more than 4,000 minority and female-owned businesses benefiting from the economic development of the games over the next 6 years. Andy and Johan Olof Koss, the speed skating legend from Norway, mounted Olympic aid humanitarian outreach that ended up immunizing, in the run-up to the games, 15 million kids in conflict zones around the world.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Wow.
so great stories that are in the film.
Okay, yeah, I can't wait to see it. Do you think Atlanta would ever host the games again?
It could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe not while I'm still here, but it might happen in your lifetime.
I don't know, maybe me and you, we could team up.
You want to?
You know, and
Let's
try
go for
it, you know.
Let's go for it.
I want to hear him
ready.
say it again. I want to hear him say Atlanta.
It could happen.
Again.
Yeah, yeah.
George, thanks so much.
Chesley,
Yeah.
great talking to you.
And you will see your film this weekend at the Atlanta Film Festival.
At the Rialto Center for the Arts,
Okay.
downtown, Saturday night.
Specific time that will be taken?
6:30, and their tickets still available through the Atlanta Film Festival website.
Okay, there you go. Make sure you check it out. Talking about our great city. So much stuff there. Thanks again, George. We appreciate
Thank you.
that. Don't go anywhere, folks. My final take when we come back. We are looking at rain. The possibility for some scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible for today, a 40% chance. And it's mainly during the afternoons into early evening is when we're going to see that, because that's going to repeat tomorrow as well. Both days, today and tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures near 80 degrees. We're looking at 82 on Friday, 30% chance for the rain, so that temperature bumps up just a little bit. We may get a little bit more in the way of sunshine. You're looking at a 30% chance on Saturday, 83 for the afternoon high. A little lower of a chance as we head into Sunday. It's less than a 10% chance for now. We're looking at 81 for the high temperature, and then we start to see those temperatures go up a little bit. Now we'll have a 20% chance on Monday. That could change. We'll watch that. And then look at Tuesday, partly to mostly sunny skies, and temperatures will be in the mid 80s by then, looking at 85 degrees. All this, keep in mind that we should be around 75 degrees for a high temperature this year, so we're still averaging above with the cloud cover around and the threat for the rain to be around as well. All right, before we go, my final take. All right, let's face facts, right? The Braves are not what we thought they would be this early in the season, and now there could be some drama brewing. Yep, between the team star and the manager. Here's the short of it, right? Braves outfielder Jarred Kelenic. He hit a home run, or what he thought was a home run, and instead of running the bases, he watched it. And wind up getting tagged out on second base. Now, when Snitker heard about this, or if somebody brought it up, he just kind of shrugged the play off. And then Ronald Acuna Jr., who is rehabbing, he's the team star, he's rehabbing, maybe in California somewhere. He heard of Snitker and what he did, the lack of discipline, so he tweeted out saying, hey, if that had been me, I've been taken out of the game. Acuna has a point, because it happened to him back in 2019 when he was benched by Snitker for making a similar mistake. Now some are criticizing Ronald Acuna Jr. for those comments that he made. But does he have a point? You can't show favoritism. You'll lose the locker room, Billy. You can't do it. You got to be even with all the players. Does he have a point? I want to hear from you, folks. What do you think? Should Acuna Jr. have not said anything at all, kept his comments to himself, or should he have called him out for what presumably is favoritism? Tell us what you think. I want to know. That's all we got for you today. Try to encourage someone this afternoon, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.